All right, dog fans. It is Saturday afternoon, February 21st, 2026, year of our Lord. And the dogs have avenged the loss at Texas by taking them Texas Longhorns at the Steg and stegging them in the ground. The Bulldogs just took it to them. Defensive rebounding, and just bringing it. Gonna break it all down. The song, listening to the sounds of The Horse by Cliff Nobles. And feeling good about it. Gonna talk about it, gonna break it down. Gonna look at where the dogs are at this point in the season and what we got going on going forward. Going to talk about dogs basketball. Going to talk about a little bit local basketball, not as much, but mainly going to focus on dogs basketball. Also a little bit of lady dogs basketball, just a little bit. But we want to break this down and look at what happened today in Athens, where the dogs took care of the Texas Longhorns 91-80. So let's break it down and see what we got. Let's go to the stats and see what it tells us. So, the dogs have had trouble all year long defensive rebounding. It's been a problem. We're like the worst in the nation, or perhaps next to worst in the nation. So what has happened is the dogs have made this a focal point in the past 2 or 3 weeks. And let's look and see how this played out tonight. So let's go to the overall rebounds. Looks like, let me make sure I got this accurate here. Normally the dogs get crushed on the defensive rebounds. Tonight it was obvious that the dogs were putting the defense out much further and pressuring the ball and denying passing lanes and forcing a little bit more pressure on defense. So let's look at it. Dogs actually won the overall rebound battle by 3, won offensive rebounds by 3, and were tied on defensive rebounds. So that was a key indicator. And then in turnovers, the dogs had only 3 turnovers. So that kind of statistical success usually plays off into overall outcome success. Not always, but usually it's a good indicator. So what happened in the game? Dogs came out with an idea that they were going to pressure the basketball in the full court and in the half court. And also, dogs shot, I think, 70%, in the first half from the three-point line. So that was key. But we'd done the same thing over in Texas and then ended up collapsing in the second half. We were up by 7 at Austin and ended up losing by 20. I think Coach Mike White knew that we had to fix that. And since that game, the dogs have really made a concerted effort, especially at the Kentucky game on the road earlier this week. So the dogs have really focused on defensive rebounding and defensive pressure in the half court. So tonight, we got back to scoring in the 90s, which has been our trademark all through the season of high scoring and high tempo. We did that, and we also, improved in the defensive rebounding, cut down on the turnovers. And I'm just going to look at a couple of notes that I had. We were up by 14 going into halftime. We were up by 7 the first time when they ended up beating us. So after the first 4 minutes of the second half, we actually had expanded our lead by 4. So we went from being up by 10 to up by 14. Well, from that point on, they really started whittling it down. And every checkpoint after that, our 14-point margin had diminished. So much so that by the 8 minutes to go left in the game, the lead had whittled down to, we were only up by 3. So now you're fearing the worst. You're thinking, oh my goodness, momentum swing. We're the same. We've seen this before. We're gonna drop the ball. Well, that didn't happen. We were in foul trouble. Dylan James and Somto both had some serious foul issues, and so Justin Absam came in at about the I guess 9-minute mark, so somewhere in there, 7-minute mark. And he came in and he gave us some real serious minutes, scored some points, made some defensive plays, and bang, next thing you know, I think he had a couple of key baskets there. And all of a sudden, we've pushed it back up. They had gotten it down to, only 3, and we pushed it back up to, we're up by 12, I think, at that point, at about the 7 minutes and a half mark. We actually pushed it out to 8 points at the 6:15 mark. So, but then you get down to 4:37. We're up by 6. And then we had a great play by Blue Cane to push us back up to 7. Then at the next interval that I have marked, we went up by 11. And that was a great play by Somto and Blue and Catchings working together to get a transition basket. And Somto had a block that kind of started everything. A unique series of plays there that kind of got the momentum back going for the Dogs and the crowd back in it. And so at the 2:21 mark, at the timeout there, we're back up by 9. And so at that point, and Somto had he fouled out right around this time. And the crowd gave him such an ovation, and that was so good to see because Somto has had some games where you just shake your head like, well, what are you thinking? You got such, just some crazy outcomes in some of those games, and the crowd was really behind him and supported him, and that was, I thought, important. And so he went out with a standing ovation, and we're up 77-87, up by 10. Ross, for them, the guard Ross was just killing us. He was making basket after basket after basket. So we would make a play, and he'd come down and answer. And he had a play. Him and Pope. I'm sorry, not Ross. Ross is our guy, but Pope was back and forth. Actually, Ross for us did have a great play in this next couple of minutes to drive and get a basket. But with 107 left, we're up by 10, 79-89. And at that point, there was a block. Somto, Blue had a miss. Somto got the rebound and put it back up. Dogs had 2 possessions there on one where we got the offensive rebound and kept the play going. It was awesome. And that put us up back, gave us a cushion back up to 10, and we were feeling good about it, and closed the game out 91-80. And it's I got to say, Somto, he had such a great game and reaction from the crowd. Justin Absam was key. He's such a reliable guy. He doesn't complain when he doesn't get to play. When he comes in, his number's called. He's ready. Just a super team culture kind of guy. But we've had back-to-back 20-game wins seasons, and we're going for back-to-back this year. And so Coach White would give us 3 20-win. Under Coach White, we'd have 3 20-win seasons in a row. If we can pull out a few more wins this year, this will put us at 18. So the Dogs are in great shape. People who, we have ups and downs in the SEC. It's a tight comp. We may have 11 teams again in the March Madness out of our conference. And people who, and I'm guilty of, ship's sinking, we're in trouble. But if we go 3 20-win seasons in a row, Georgia basketball is now relevant. We're part of the regular conversation as to teams that would be in March Madness. And so you got to get in the game to win the game. And part of being in the game is being in the game consistently enough that you can recruit players who know that coming to your school means, yeah, we're probably going to be in March Madness. We're going to get a lot of visibility. And the fact that he's done this and he's developed, Somtos stayed with him, Dylan James has stayed with him, and Blue Cane has stayed with him through the whole development process. So that's unusual in the NIL culture. So I think what Mike White is building is a Georgia basketball culture that we can be proud of. And I just want to say, go Dogs. Let's hope we pull the next one off. We've got to go to Vanderbilt, and that's going to be a tough place to play. Kudos to Metter basketball. Metter basketball in the region just recently played this past, this weekend. The girls captured the first region championship in a very long time, and beat Bryan County to win that championship here, region game hosted at Metter. And the boys team narrowly missed being in the championship game by a tight loss the night before last. They came in last night and beat a tough Savannah High team and won by 3, I believe, in a very tight, hotly contested game. And kudos to both coaches for both teams, Coach Altman and Coach Donaldson, for the Lady Tigers and the Tigers for those wins, and we wish them well in the state playoffs. Also, the Lady Bulldogs basketball team is playing very well. Looking that they're going to be in the tournament, and they're playing with some momentum. And the Georgia Southern Lady Eagles basketball team's playing well. And of course, the boys are competitive. Haven't had a chance to see them or follow them as much, but just know that the local basketball and the David Emanuel Academy Lady Eagles I saw where they were advancing in the playoffs. So, kudos to our local basketball, and also our state, my team, my alum. That's where I graduated. Graduated from Southern and from Georgia. But great win today for the Bulldogs, and I hope that they can keep it going. Saw some great people at the Metter High School game. Saw Coach Altman, his team. We got to watch him, and Coach Donaldson's team. Got to watch them a little bit. But saw some people that support local basketball and had a chance to converse with them. And I appreciate everybody who supports local basketball and just basketball in general. And it's a good community to be a part of. And thank you all. And hopefully we can get some of you guys that are big fans of basketball to come on and join me and have a few conversations. So look forward to doing that. And just want to say thank you. And once again, go Dogs, go Tigers, go Eagles, go Patriots. We just appreciate all of our local teams that are playing basketball and supporting the cause. So just really good day today for Georgia Bulldog fans, and hope that we can continue that, and go Dogs.